Hey everyone, welcome back to some Star Ocean. It's Tales of Arise. We're on the starship Fall Knights, and we're heading to Lenegis, but we got to talk to Dohalim first. We've spoken to everyone else, and I think we're ready to move on, so let's do this.
Is everyone about ready? We'll soon be making preparations to land.
Before we do that, just what exactly should we expect when we get down there?
Kisara has a point. Now that I think of it, I don't know the first thing about Lenegis.
I'd like to hear more too. It's been centuries since I was last there, and they didn't exactly give me the grand tour.
Very well. First and foremost, Lenegis was the base of operations in charge of the crown contest on Dana. Of course, it also happens to be a city in its own right, complete with its own independent society. Its social structure is based on a strict hierarchy. Put simply, the strength of an individual's astral arts carries great weight.
Enough to determine someone's social rank, you mean? But astral arts are innate, right? So people's positions are fixed at birth.
That's usually how
They
it
can
works,
be honed
Law.
with the right training, and there are admittedly other factors at play. But yes, that's basically the gist. As a result, family lines that churn out lords and their contenders wield disproportionate influence, and those lineages are treated as nobility.
Those capable of only weak astral arts are effectively an underclass, denied the right to descend to Dana even if they wanted to. Still, even the lowest rung on the Renin ladder is considered superior to being a Danan. Keep that in mind down there.
Thanks for the warning. As a lord, Dohalim must have been pretty high up in the pecking order, right? What about you, Shion?
Come on, you've seen her skill with astral arts. You really need to ask?
Fair point.
On arts alone, you're right. I'd have been sitting pretty. But you're forgetting my thorns. They weren't exactly an invitation to high society.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's refreshing to be around someone who says what they're thinking. Life's less complicated that way.
That is true.
Jeez, give backhanded compliments much?
Wait a second. Are you? He is! Law's blushing!
Oh, Rinwell.
I am not!
Always
Of course,
picking on him.
separating people into castes based on something arbitrary like arts is discrimination at its worst. As if such simplistic criteria could ever be a measure of someone's worth.
Here.
So this red woman, are we expecting to find her on Lenegis?
I would wager so. Lenegis is too deeply involved in all this to discard the possibility. Chances are she's also connected to the Renis Alma being stolen from us in Pelagian.
If the Renis Alma is being used to exploit Dana, we need to take it back at all costs.
That red woman's got a lot to answer for. Just as well I've got a ton of questions.
Whoop.
We're about to land. The descent could be a little bumpy, so brace yourselves.
If there are clues about your thorns out there, Shion, we'll find them.
Yeah. To Lenegis. I bet everyone's dead. I bet everyone's still super dead from when Alphen went crazy or something. I'm still not quite sure what happened with all that, but wow, Lenegis looks really weird. Up close. Did you see that then?
There's no one here. I wasn't expecting a welcome mat, but still.
Lenegis's infrastructure is largely automated. Besides, people won't be expecting incoming traffic while the crown contest is still underway.
Do you think anyone realizes that we're here?
We may not have received a royal welcome, but I doubt our entrance went unnoticed. Don't let your guard down.
I really hope we don't have to fight anybody while we're here.
Rinwell?
So now what? We've come all this way on a hunch that this red woman is here, right? And if we're lucky, the Renis Alma too. Any idea where we should start looking?
There is an area of the city that is accessible only to the sovereigns, known as the Forbidden Zone. That seems as good a place as any for us to start.
Forbidden? What are they hiding?
I don't know, hence my desire to find out. Fortunately, we just so happen to have a sovereign in our midst.
That's you, Alphen.
In any case, changing the shape of a huge structure such as Lenegis would have required an immense source of power.
Then you think that source might have been the Renis Alma?
Precisely. Alphen said that he remembered the Renis Alma being used in the spirit channeling ceremony 3 centuries ago. Whatever the ceremony's purpose, if preparations are underway for it to be held once more, then the Renis Alma might be in the same place as last time, possibly together with the Red Woman. Hiding something of that worth in the residential quarters would only court trouble. In which case...
It stands to reason we should be looking somewhere normally out of bounds. Is that it?
Indeed.
But it's been over 300 years since I was made a sovereign. You can't seriously think I'll be able to waltz right into the place after all this time.
There's only one way to find out. If there's even a chance you can get us in, I say we give it a shot.
Shion's right. Who knows? We might even find a clue to her thorns while we're at it.
All right. It's not like we're swimming in leads, so let's try to track down the Forbidden Zone.
The Forbidden Zone. Members who left return to your party. Cool. This is
Beyond
so...
that wall lies a city full of Renans.
Ugh.
The
So
capital
Star
city
Ocean.
where Shion and Dohalim used to live, no less. Who knows what we'll find on the other side?
Just the fact that it's the same composer as the Star Ocean games, and now we're in full-on sci-fi mode. Oh my god. I wonder if Star Ocean 6 is going to be any good, because 5 was a heaping pile of dog shit. Oh, it was so bad. Right, we got a skit.
Thinking about what could be lurking out here is giving me the heebie-jeebies.
For such a loudmouth, you sure can be a worrywart at times.
Oh, I'm sorry. How stupid of me for wanting us to stay safe.
Oh my god.
Would you two children stop squabbling? Or do you want everyone to know we're here?
So how many Renans actually live in this place?
I couldn't tell you exactly, though not as many as you might expect. Machines and Zeugles take care of most of the city's basic functions.
There's Zeugles out here too, huh? Sounds like we can't afford to let our guard down after all.
Yeah, I mean, Rinwell being like, I hope we don't have to do any fighting here. Yeah, no, I very, very highly doubt your, I think Rinwell's been a little bit naive there. Right, nothing to do here. Okay, in we go. The Renis Alma. Oh, wow. Looks like a giant circuit board. What the heck are you doing up there, pal? This music's great. But yeah, Lenegis doesn't look to be in great condition. Is that still the aftermath of what we did, or something else?
What in the world?
This being Renan territory, I was prepared for a lot of things to look different. But this is a bit more than I anticipated.
The very foundations of the city have shifted. What could have caused this?
When Lenegis changed shape, it must have had an effect on the interior too.
Maybe when they sent the wedge down to Dana?
But they wouldn't move around the places where people live. These are their homes, right?
I would think the citizens themselves didn't have much say in the matter. Either way, locating the Forbidden Zone just became that much trickier.
Dohalim? Is that you?
Avakir, I'm glad to see you're well.
So it is you! But why are you here? Shouldn't you be down on Dana participating in the crown contest? And these people!
So you haven't heard what happened on Dana, then?
Heard what?
Someone you know?
An old friend.
Hey, Dohalim, don't tell me you've started keeping company with...
They're with me. More importantly, what's happened here?
I'm really not sure. The city's foundations began to shift without warning, and now everything looks like this. We're all waiting for the Sovereign to tell us what's happening, but so far...
Avakir, listen to me. We're looking for the Forbidden Zone. Do you have any idea where we might find it?
The Forbidden Zone? What business could you possibly have there?
Trust me. The less you know, the better.
You're just the same as ever. I wish I could help, but what with the changed topography, I can barely locate my own home.
That's so
Let
weird.
alone the Forbidden Zone.
Very well. It looks like we'll have to find the way there ourselves.
Have you seen Faria yet?
Who's that?
No.
I see. Well, nothing much has changed with her. If anything, she's probably even more...
I can well imagine.
Why did you come back? You know it can only result in pain for you both.
I've no doubt of that.
You really are the same as ever. Fine, I understand. Just don't say I didn't warn you. And take care of yourself. Okay, Doe?
Did he just call him Doe? Like Doe, a deer, a female deer? That is so cool, he has a little nickname for him. You can tell that they're close, or they were. He's obviously not seen him in a while. And who's Faria again? Am I...
So
I'm
who's
forgetting.
Faria?
Oh, there we go.
Law?
If what Avakir said is true, it would seem the people of Lenegis are being kept in the dark about what's happening down on Dana.
They seem to be just as clueless about what's going on up here in their own world. Despite the fact that it's actually here that the wedge originally came from.
We need more information. Let's talk to the citizens, see what we can find out.
While we're at it, we can ask them about the Red Woman, too.
And don't forget about finding the way to the Forbidden Zone either.
Let's leave the talking to Shion. We can't have a bunch of Danins poking their noses around.
Good idea. I think that's for the best.
I shall assist.
You sure?
Being a lord on Lenegis has its advantages.
Right. Then we'll leave it to you two.
Shion and Doers.
The
Okay.
Danins among us should probably keep our heads down.
What if people freak out?
I shall explain it away by saying I'm leading you.
What are we, dogs?
What are we, dogs? Can you imagine suddenly your house being in a different place? Like, I'm pretty sure I lived down this street, but now it's not there anymore. It's somewhere else. That's so crazy. Just the way this place looks. Very, very, very different to Dana. We do have another skit, so I'm going to watch them pretty much as soon as they come up.
What could be so important? It's worth destroying people's livelihoods and homes in the process. It's just... unbelievable. Uprooting an entire city as if it were mere building blocks. Someone's got an awful lot of questions to answer.
From how it looks, they must be siphoning off astral energy from Dana, and then sending it to Rena.
But why do all this? What for? Surely they can't be using all that energy for the crown contest.
Whatever their purpose, disrupting their siphoning process alone won't be sufficient. Not while we still don't know what their endgame is.
He's right. We need to stop this from happening ever again.
This Forbidden Zone might be where we find some answers, right? So what are we waiting for? Let's get moving!
You heard him. We don't have time to stop and chat. Let's move.
But we got to talk to the citizens, though, so we do actually have time to stop and chat. Another skit, an afterthought. Let me just talk to you first. Is Lenegis done for? The residential quarter is falling apart. Yeah. Has all of this commotion caused any valuable items to be scattered about the place within reach of us? Also, bloody... Oh my god. Windows 10. You want me to restart? I know there is a way of stopping this, but I'm just gonna pick like a random day. 11th of June at 3 minutes past 10 in the morning. There we go. Alright. Talk to you guys? No. I love this music. Oh, you using some healing arts? With everything all topsy-turvy in the residential quarter, there are lots of injuries. Stuff keeps dropping on people and they're also falling down. Oh no! Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, while they are Renans, they're still people.
So, I've been wondering, do you think when Lenegis was built, it was even made with people living here in mind?
What do you mean?
Well, none of this happened by coincidence, right? They must have designed it to transform like this. But then, if they knew people were going to live here, you'd think they would have taken that into consideration, to avoid all this chaos.
Ordinarily, yes. You'd think so. Trust me, as far as we were concerned, Lenegis was our home, nothing more. No one knew about all this. It makes you wonder whether the city was just built on as an afterthought. But if so, to what exactly?
Sorry, that probably sounded weird, huh?
Not at all. Sometimes it takes an outsider's eye to help you notice what you've been missing all along. This place is a mystery, that's for sure. Something tells me we'll find answers where we're going, though.
Yeah, you're right, Shion. I'm sure we will.
And they're probably horrific. Yay! Renans are so weird. What is all this society? You know, you got Renner, you got Lenegis, you got the Crown Contest. Oh, they're so strange. Where am I? I just went out for a walk, but now I don't know where I am. I don't know. Everything's falling apart and looks completely different. I can't get hold of mother and father either. You have nothing to fear, kids. I'm sure there's a reason for everything that's going on. But even the Zoogles are running loose. Oh boy. The Zoogles are nothing more than our servants. I'm still struggling with my throat, by the way, chaps. I'm so sorry. They may have gotten out, but I assure you, I'll have them back under control before long. If you kids consider yourselves to be proud Renans, then be brave. We'll have the situation fixed before you know it. Well, yeah, you don't really seem to be working too hard on the Zoogle problem. I'm guessing I'm going to be running into them sooner rather than later. What the fuck are you doing? Oh, I see. I thought he just lost his mind. Oh, yeah, they're trapped. That's not good. Oh, hello. Yeah, we got chests. Orange gel. Absolutely. Definitely need more of those. Ooh. We can do some healing ourselves. I really dig this music. In all my years, never have I seen such potent healing arts. Thank you so much for taking the time to help an old woman like me. Fancy parfait recipe. Everyone loved parfait. A lavish parfait filled with to the brim with fruit and cream. Though extremely satisfying to eat, eating one risks developing more than a few cavities.
Everything will be okay now.
I know the basics of healing arts, but my skills pale in comparison.
They do actually, yeah, Dohalim. Although yours are still decent. At least you have some. It's a very fancy looking, like notice board. Oh. Oh, okay. Well, you're someone we're supposed to talk to. Putting out some fires with water arts, that's pretty cool.
Your lordship. Oh, what a great honor it is to finally meet you. I descended to Dana during the last crown contest also. Alas, when the contender I was backing failed to clinch the title, I returned. I witnessed the deaths of so many slaves.
Indeed.
Sorry to interrupt, but we're looking for a woman dressed all in red. Have you seen anyone of that description?
All red, eh? No, I can't say I remember anyone like that. I imagine she'd stand out somewhat, too.
Yeah. What about down on Dana during the crown contest? You didn't see anyone like that hanging around the lord you were serving?
What's with all these questions? I've never seen her, okay? Not recently or otherwise. Why do you want to find her anyway?
Never mind. Forget I asked. Sorry to take up your time.
Well, you were bloody helpful. I would very much think the crown contest is currently on hold, sir. Considering pretty much all of the lords are dead, aside from Dohalim. That might... I mean, basically, he's won, isn't he? I mean... oh my god, my throat, dude. Come on. Let me drink this coffee. As far as I'm aware, he's the only one left, right? Volron's dead, we think. And, everyone else, yeah, super dead, so... Hello. The Zeugles suddenly stopped listening to our commands. As soon as we turned our backs, they bolted for the horizon. Nothing like this has ever happened before. We have to put the crown contest on hold. We can't carry it on while things are like this. I'm still not quite sure what the whole point of the crown contest is. I mean, I know it's to gain astral energy. But for what purpose? Just because they need it to power the lovely transforming cities? No more chests.
Is everything okay? You look a little lost.
Oh, yes. I can't seem to find my way home, is all. I was just about to make my umpteenth attempt at a new route.
I was hoping to head this way myself. The situation is a real pain, huh?
I suppose the Sovereign knows best. I daren't stay here too long, though. A lower caste can only linger around these parts for so long before I outstay my welcome. I was hoping to avoid it, but maybe I'll have to go that way after all.
You mean you know another way round?
Lord Dohalim Ilkaris! But how? Last I heard, you were in Dana competing in the crown contest.
Yes, strange, isn't it? If you know another route, we'd be grateful if you could tell us.
But of course. Please forgive me. There's a wall that sprung up ahead of here, with what looks to be an entrance in it. I thought maybe it was a passageway between the different quarters, but I've no way of knowing for sure.
It's worth investigating, at least. I shall go and assess the situation. In the meantime, wait for me here. If it looks safe, I'll come and let you know.
You'd really do that for me? A lord troubling himself for someone of my lowly status?
Our lot in life is of little consequence. We are both Renan, first and foremost.
Oh, why yes, my lord. Thank you.
Dohalim, you're a decent guy. You really are. God, my throat. This might be a short video, chaps. I cannot clear this blooming passage to my innards. Anything over here? Nope. Oh, wait, can I not go this way? I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to go this way. What the heck? Can you guys move out of the way? How do I... That is oh wait, no, I haven't spoken to one more person. Whoops, I've missed someone. Even though we know that that's basically where we're supposed to go. I missed something over here. Ooh. What's this way? Well, more chests, or a chest. Strawberries! How random. Do Renans really like strawberries? Let's talk to this bald gentleman.
Oh, dear me. What an unspeakable mess this has all become. Just look at the state of our city. Even the Zeugles have stopped heeding our commands. Whatever did we do to deserve this?
You really have no clue what might have caused this?
Would that I have. Alas, there was no warning, no prior decree. His Highness must have deemed it unnecessary for us to know. We have no choice but to grin and bear it. But do my eyes deceive me? Could I really be standing in the presence of his lordship, Dohalim of the House Ilkaris? I believed he was on Dana.
Your eyes do not deceive you. It is I, one and the same. I have returned to fulfill a special duty, the details of which I cannot divulge.
As your lordship wishes. First Lenegis mutates beyond recognition, now this unexpected visit. The Sovereign's plans are inscrutable indeed. The Ilkaris house has produced a great many lords over the centuries. I shall be praying for your victory in the latest crown contest.
Your good wishes do me an honor.
Again, we've kind of won by default.
We've canvassed the city for information. What do you think?
No one has the faintest idea what's happened to the city after all. They haven't heard the news about the crown contest either.
You'd think that info would easily find its way up here. Has it always been like that?
Not to this extent, which would indicate that something's suppressing the truth, that Lenegis is under some kind of control.
Given everything that's happened to their city, the people here seem weirdly okay with it all.
Yeah, that one guy even said his Zoogle had stopped listening to him. If that's true, these people are in big trouble.
Everything that happens here is attributed to the Sovereign's will. It's the way people have been conditioned. Their belief runs deep. Nothing happens devoid of a reason. To them, it's all part of the Sovereign's grand plan.
The Sovereign's plan. There is one thing I'm still not sure about. Just who is this person ruling over Lenegis?
That's what I've been meaning to
The
ask.
Sovereign, of course. He rules from Rena while presiding over both Rena and Lenegis.
Who is that?
Without the lords or anyone in the middle doing his dirty work? Isn't Rena at least the same size as Dana? That's a pretty big dominion for one person to rule over. I would have thought ruling Lenegis alone would be difficult enough.
The points you make are valid, though I confess I'd never given it much thought before. Here, the Sovereign's total authority is as natural as night turning to day. Come to think of it, I know nothing of the nature of how Rena itself is. Shion, have you ever been... No, forgive me. Have you met or crossed paths with, or even heard of someone who's actually made a visit to the homeland?
No, I haven't.
Neither have I. In which case, I would imagine that... But no, surely not. Can it really be that no citizen of Lenegis has ever been there?
Hold up, what are you getting at, Dohalim?
Assuming what I believe to be correct, it's possible that no one on Lenegis has ever laid eyes on the actual Renan homeworld itself. No one but the Sovereign, that is.
But what about trade and communication? There's got to be a flow back and forth, surely.
Not if the Sovereign is imposing his will on Lenegis single-handedly. It could be a one-way street.
But I thought you said that the Sovereign's all the way over on Rena. If that's the case, can he really rule directly over Lenegis from so far away? What if something were to happen to the city, like now?
I'm beginning to wonder what the nature of this Sovereign even is. Alphen said he was forced into the role, right? Just before the ceremony. But Sovereign is also the title given to the almighty Renan ruler. So which one is it?
Whoever wins the crown contest inherits the throne from his or her predecessor, before becoming ruler over all of Rena and Lenegis. Thereafter, that individual is known as the Sovereign. Though, it would appear that the current ruler has gone silent. As for how Volron factors into all this, at this point, I no longer know what to believe.
3 centuries ago, I became the Sovereign here on Lenegis. No, not just became, I was forced to. Me, a Danon. 300 years later, we cross paths with Volron, who also bears the Sovereign's crest. That's not the only thing we have in common. We both became Sovereign without winning the crown contest.
Do you think Volron was made Sovereign for the same reason? Because of that ceremony?
I can't say for sure, but it certainly sounds like it.
But that would mean that 2 Sovereigns would need to exist at any one time. One whose job it is to rule, and the other for ceremonial purposes. We never did see Volron's body back in Ganath Haros.
Exactly.
Is a new ceremony underway with Volron at its center this time? Could that be what's causing all this strange activity here?
Wait a second. You don't think Volron and the Red Woman are working together, do you? The ceremony can't go forward without the Renis Alma. The same one that the Red Woman stole.
There's something else the ceremony needs. A maiden. And unless there's another one out there aside from me...
Questions, questions, and yet more questions.
Right?
Ones that it seems will remain unanswered until we can establish the Sovereign's identity.
If the Forbidden Zone really is off-limits to everyone but the Sovereign, that seems as good a place as any to start. For the sake of liberating Dana, too.
Then it's decided. That's where we need to go.
One of the citizens mentioned a passage that she thought might lead to another section of the city. It could point us in the right direction. Let's go find it!
I know where it is. It wouldn't let us go there earlier. But yes, we've got another skit. I'm glad that the characters are kind of talking through that, because obviously we do have a lot of questions at this point. Who the heck is the Sovereign? How does this ceremony factor into anything? And yeah, we definitely didn't see Volron's body. He's probably still kicking. The Red Woman, obviously involved. And just the fact that no one has ever been to Rena, that they know of anyway, is very suspicious. I wonder if we'll end up going there, or maybe it's all just an illusion to, I don't know, control the masses or something. I don't know. I'm gonna call it now that Rena is one giant hologram, and the real Sovereign is a giant hippo. A giant space hippo. That's what I'm gonna place my bets on. Right, let's watch this skit before we go to the Forbidden Zone.
I didn't realize Renans oppressed their own kind, too.
And yet, weirdly, none of them seem to mind. Am I the only one who finds that strange?
It is the way things have always been, so no one thinks to question it. You have experience in that regard yourself, do you not?
Unquestioning acceptance of your own servitude. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Even so, the quality of life here seems much higher than any Danon city we visited. I used to think it was impossible to build an ideal society without wealth. But I suppose having it doesn't always mean people are treated fairly either.
More to the point, not a single citizen seems to have even heard of the Red Woman.
What if she's not here? What if it turns out we're looking in the wrong place entirely?
It's still too early to say anything for sure.
For all we know, she might be able to blend in, move around unnoticed. I say we hold off judgment until we've exhausted every avenue.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely didn't notice her until, like, the very end of the game, or the very end of the Lord culling. So, yeah, I wonder who she is, and what her goals are. Alright, we can go this way now. And yes, yet another skit. Oh shit. A cutscene. I did not mean to trigger this.
With nobody left to run the show, I wonder what the people here are supposed to do. I mean, there's sovereigns up on the Renan homeworld, and all their lords were sent to Dana.
But Dohalim was a lord, right?
Only current acting lords have power. Renan society is quite strict about such matters.
Even if the other lords were still around, I doubt they'd be able to do much about the situation.
I wonder what they'd think if they were here to see Lenegis now.
They'd probably be like, holy shit, it's all gone to crap, hasn't it?
Balsif, Cannabelt, Almadria, and Volron. Now that I think of it, aside from Dohalim, we know next to nothing about the other lords.
Well, they were dicks. That's about all we know.
Well, yeah, why would we?
Apart from those, well, I guess the other lords that have existed we don't know anything about. I don't know.
To us Danans, they were just enemies we needed to overthrow. Nothing more.
I know. But seeing Renans in their own city, going about their day-to-day lives, it gets you thinking.
It feels strange to imagine the lords living here too, you mean?
It does actually.
Yeah, a little.
If you're that curious about them, why not try inquiring with some of the locals? Every lord in their household has their share of supporters here on Lenegis. And luckily for us, the people here are unaware of the events on Dana, which means they should be more inclined to talk to us.
Yeah, nobody tell them we killed all of the lords. Oh, a quest? Is this a main quest? Or is it a side quest? Talk to the people who support the Lords. Okay, well, I think I may have just missed a skit. But we can watch that campsite. Well, if there's going to be campsites. No, this is just a side quest we're doing, isn't it? It looks like it. Which we might as well do, because I would like to learn more about the Lords.
Tell me, Dohalim, has that skill of yours got a name?
And what skill would this be, pray tell?
You know, when you're talking to people around town. The way they suddenly become putty in your hands.
It's because he's a lord.
I'm afraid I don't quite follow.
I do. It's called friendly intimidation.
Oh.
Look imposing and speak in a deep, booming voice, and presto, you'll have people wrapped around your finger in no time.
I would never stoop to such scandalous tricks. Any feelings of intimidation are solely in the eye of the beholder.
So there is a knack to it. How do you learn it? Can anyone do it?
Oh my god.
Now you've got me curious. Is there special training to master?
Oh my god.
Let's see. An obsession with being elegant is a must. Oh, and it helps to be old-fashioned, too. Bonus points if you speak in a way no one can understand.
If you've a
Kisara.
bone to pick with me, it'd be quicker to just come out and say it.
What? They look up to you, that's all. I'm just helping them along.
Hey!
Oh my god.
What's got into Alvin and Law all of a sudden?
I can barely understand a word they're saying. And what's with the weird poses? Was it something they ate?
I hope you're willing to take the blame for this one.
I wasn't expecting them to take me so seriously. I'll go and have a word with them.
Oh, I wish we could have seen that. Oh, that's amazing. Kisara throwing so much shade on Dohalim there, but in a playful way. I love it. Hello, sir. Nice tash. You want to know which lord I support? Why are you out canvassing for someone? I'm with His Excellency, Wolsey Teldilis. I have no idea how you say that. You probably know him better as Lord Balsef. Oh yeah, Balsef. I know a lot of people consider him to be a giant brute. Believe me, I realize he can be an aggressive man. You're not kidding. What those people don't realize is how much he looks after the members of his house. And probably only the members of his house, judging by Calaglia. It's fair to say that House Teddy's doesn't enjoy much esteem. Those of us who serve it will be the first to admit that.
Yes!
Yes! But His Excellency always stands up against any who would mean us harm. Of that we can be sure. His efforts in the crown contest aren't only for his family, but to improve the standing of each and every member of his house. Well, ain't he just a knight in shining armor?
Yes!
I owe so much to His Excellency, I could never dream of serving any other lord. Cool story, bro. He was an arsehole, and
Balsef
I'm
had it
so
in him
glad
to
we
care
murdered
about
him.
someone other than himself? Really?
It's possible. A change in position can do much to alter one's perspective.
So even he might have had something he wanted to protect.
Still don't like him. Oh, this is the same woman we just spoke to. Yeah, Lord Dohalim, you have returned. Oh, and I see you've brought aides with you. Do you remember who I am, my lord? Surely you must, yes? Not only do I support House Ilkaris, but more specifically his lordship personally. Yay, we got a fan. So much so, I've been trying to share my appreciation of his lordship to any who will listen. In fact, I was planning on to publish my extensive writings on the subject through this very terminal for all to read and enjoy. But since the lines appear to be cut due to the recent tumult, I have been unable to upload them. I know, since you're all here, I'll just read them aloud. Oh boy, here we go. There exists a most handsome man, a man who radiates beauty, whose every word, every syllable is divine poetry. He hails from the famed House Ilkaris, and his name, Lord Dohalim. Music is his passion, the arts his great love. The score of boorish, uncouth men of this land cannot begin to compare to his magnificence. So refined and majestic is his posture, why the mere thought of it brings me to ecstasy. Oh my lord. Dohalim, you're in there, pal. You are in there. Once he becomes our sovereign, Renil shall bloom anew, ushering in an era of prosperity for our grand civilization. Until that glorious day comes, I shall forever be praying for his victory, morning, noon, and night. That would make me very embarrassed to have that said straight to my face. Oh, what did you think, my lord? I poured my whole heart into it, hoping to capture your essence. Wait, I forgot to mention anything about his lordship's love for collecting things. Oh, yeah. That's a good point. We've not had a new artifact in ages. I must take this time while the lines are down to append it. Only then will my masterpiece be complete. We didn't get a single word in edgeways there.
I guess she intended to spread it throughout all of Lenegis then.
Good thing the lines were down so she couldn't.
It almost sounded like she was praising them too.
Maybe there was more to the guy than at first glance.
I shall refrain from commenting.
Alright, looks like we have one more over there again. Oh, there we go. Quickly phased into existence. Hello, sir. Well, I never. To think anyone would try to tear me away from House of Valkyries.
What?
What do you want? Don't tell me you work for Lord Dohalim and that dreadful Lord Almadria too. Almadria, do you? You don't? Well, don't scare me. Oh, were you, Shit, what was his name? Ganabel. Don't scare me like that. To answer your question, I came from a family that has served House Valkyries for generations. Indeed, I'll be doing all I can to support Lord Ganabelt behind the scenes so that he might emerge victorious. Many think of him to be a cruel man, but I insist they're utterly mistaken. No, they are utterly correct. Though I won't deny he can be strict, he puts Rena interests front and center like no one else. I mean, I don't know which lord was probably Almadria. I mean, no, Valron was pretty bad. But what Almadria did was probably the most shocking thing to me. Although Ganabelt did kill Stafford, didn't he? So that was also... Yeah, and he had the whole, like, disguising himself as the rebel leader thing. That was pretty clever. I think Balsif is really the most basic of the bitches in that respect. Anyway. We will become masters of both worlds and overturn our current minority status on Dana's surface. That is why he seeks to become our next sovereign. Tell me, is there a greater, more noble ambition than that? I think not. There is actually many things. In a pursuit of, it is a pursuit of power for the advancement of all our kind. It is what makes him an exemplary lord, a model above all others. How deluded can you be, sir? I was unable to accompany him myself. My two sons have been blessed with the honor of joining him on the surface. As their father, it fills me with endless pride. I wonder if we've encountered your sons. And are they dead?
Ganabelt was so horrible to people. Yet he was invested in helping Rena succeed. Doesn't that seem just a little inconsistent?
I'm perhaps biased in this matter, I admit. However, in my mind, while all lords vie to become the next sovereign, they're also meant to serve as guardians of all of Rena.
It seems like Ganabelt also had people he cared about until the very end.
So why couldn't he extend that to us Danans?
Because he was an arse. Alright, we can go this way now. I mean, have we done that quest now? Is that Completamundo? Rens and their lords. No, I guess there's more people we need to talk to. But I don't see any in this area, so okay. On to the next. Oh, wow. It's quite open, isn't it? Residential Zone 4.
This area
yes.
doesn't look as badly damaged as that other district we went through.
No, it doesn't.
Indeed. The effects of Lenegis' transformation appear to be less pronounced here. Or, viewed another way, this area was simply luckier.
You fight those Zoogles. Yeah, go for it.
Pardon me.
You look very unhappy. This area falls under the sole jurisdiction of House Kyneris. I must ask you to depart at once, Almadria. Surely you don't claim to be ignorant of our famed house, ruled over by the esteemed Lord Almadria. If so, I urge you to listen well. In fact, I bid you listen carefully regardless. Have you ever noticed how in the history of Lenegis, only a few women lords have emerged to compete in the crown contest? Many have theories as to why this might be, but Lord Almadria quashed those doubts, the doubts of any naysayers, through sheer might. In fact, not only did she usurp her father and previous family master, she also removed her older brother to claim the seat for herself. So basically, she murdered or killed or did something to her family so she could be the head honcho. And you're praising this as some sort of, like, taking initiative, and determined and driven. I don't know. She's a woman who stops at nothing to get what she wants, who gives her enemies nary the slightest opening to strike. She was very hot, but also incredibly psychotic. Truly, Lord Almadria is a woman of talent. No one in all Renna better exemplifies the virtues of our nation's meritocracy. I mean, yeah. Soon the age of a glorious woman sovereign reigning over Lenegis shall be upon us at last. If she wasn't currently rotting at the bottom of a down an ocean, maybe that would be true.
I guess her willingness to stoop to any low came from a survival of the fittest worldview.
And some people here not only shared her belief, but championed it as morally right, too.
Exactly, yeah. It's
that
crazy.
Doesn't make it true. Too bad they couldn't see through her.
Yeah.
And come to think of it, we didn't actually kill her, did we? I mean, we fought her, but it was Volran that finished her off. Sheep meat. 1 sheep meat. Wow, thanks. Thanks, game. It's not like I've got a million of those.
Ridiculous. Ridiculous. How loathsome. Oh, I was just reading about Volran. Can I help you? Okay. I was always an ardent supporter of Lord Uwagil Hildris myself, were it not for his sudden death down on the surface. I likely still would be. I wonder if Volran murdered him. In my eyes, Lord Uwagil is the true Water Lord. I don't believe for a second he perished in some accident like they say. Oh yeah, no, there's got to have been so many, like, murdering of lords by other lords. Because that'd be a pretty quick way of winning the crown contest, wouldn't it? Just kill them. As for how Volran runs Ganeth Harros, don't get me started. I hear he enslaves not only Danans, but even his fellow Renans. We may live in a society where to the victor go the spoils, but his actions go against what we as people stand for. Besides, just what sort of family line is this House Ignissary of his anyway? I'd never heard of it until he came along.
Oh, that's interesting.
That such an ignoble lineage could suddenly produce an astral artist capable of ascending to lordship is unheard of. None of it makes any sense. Not to mention all of the upheaval around here of late. What is happening to our people?
You're just a bunch of bastards
Seems
anyway.
like the people on Lenegis don't really know much about Volran either.
I remember being quite surprised when the Lord of Ganeth Harros changed so abruptly.
Didn't you have any doubts that something suspicious was going on?
On the contrary. Remember, we Renans are raised to accept everything at face value.
When you think about it, the families of Renan lords must see them differently than the rest of us.
Yeah, despite the brutality they're known for.
They must have had a lot on their shoulders, carrying all the weight and responsibilities of Renan society.
Renans live in a world where strength and power determine their position in the social hierarchy, so they tend to grow up fiercely competitive. But their loyalty to their people is also strong. It's what brings them together against outside forces, and nothing exemplifies that more than the Lords.
That's what makes them the guardians of all of Renna, so to speak.
Right. It's the same reason Balsif hated my guts, and Ganabelt went after you. Because we're threats to Renna.
Guess that makes you an even bigger oddball than we thought.
So, Alphen, have you gained anything from all of this?
Yeah. I think it's made me realize that the Lords were all people, too.
Bad people, but people all the same.
Balsif and the others, they all had their own circumstances to deal with as they went through life.
Yeah, but still, just because they had loved ones in their lives doesn't mean...
I know. What they did was horrible. I'm not trying to dispute that. But at the same time, they weren't incomprehensible monsters either. They were individuals, just like the rest of us. So I guess what I'm trying to say is...
You're saying that they weren't bad because they were Renans, or because they were terrible monsters. Even if they did terrible things, they were still just people.
Rinwell.
Am I wrong?
Not at all.
Being a Danan doesn't make you a good person. And being a Renan doesn't make you a bad one. I think that's something we've all seen.
Xion and Dohalim definitely make a good case for it.
And I'm going to keep doing my best to make sure I earn that trust. As a fellow human being above all else.
Yay! I mean, again, they're saying some pretty obvious things, but it's just, you know, that kind of storytelling, isn't it? SP accumulated. Oh, law, what are we going to learn with you? Feels like ages since we've opened the main menu. Law, what was I learning? Oh, increased near-death attack, elemental attack, which is going to give us 30 resistance. Okay. Jolly good. We don't really have much SP. Yeah, because we've not been fighting, so we're not really getting much SP at all. Right. That's that quest done. Doesn't get to talk to you again. How loathsome. Not a fan of his, then? Oh, you're just saying the same shit? Okay. Right, everyone. Well, I think I'm going to end the video here. Obviously been a lot of talking, a lot of cutscenes. But at this point in the story, I think we kind of need that. So I'm really, really excited to learn more about what the heck is going on with the Sovereign and the Renans and Rena and Lenegis. And next time we will explore more of this residential zone and head for the next exit. Thank you for watching, everyone. Take care. I will see you next time. Bye-bye for now.